Did you know that over 12 million British travelers head to Europe each year? And starting next month, thousands of them could be turned away at the border, even with a valid UK passport. Yes, you heard that right. From passport stamping rules to digital registrations and even needing to prove your travel funds, 10 popular countries are rolling out new restrictions that could leave you stranded before your holiday even begins. And the worst part? Most UK travelers don't even know these changes are coming. Imagine arriving in sunny Spain or romantic Paris, only to be denied entry because of a technicality you've never heard of. Is your passport actually valid enough for these new rules? Are you unknowingly breaking Schengen laws just by going on multiple weekend trips? In this video, we're revealing the 10 countries cracking down and what you must do now to stay safe and stress-free. Number 10. Iran. Starting next month, Iran is introducing stricter entry policies that specifically affect UK passport holders, and the implications are far more serious than a missed flight or a delayed vacation. If you're planning to visit Iran, whether for tourism, business, or even transit, you'll now face more intensive visa screening, including a requirement to disclose full travel history, especially if you've previously visited Israel or certain European countries. In some cases, travelers are being asked to submit detailed itineraries, accommodation bookings, and even personal interviews before being granted a visa. One of the most important new requirements is the mandatory travel authorization process, which can now take up to 30 days or more. That's a major shift from the past, when some travelers could obtain a visa on arrival. Failure to comply with these new protocols could mean denied boarding at the airport, or even detention upon arrival in Iran. But it doesn't stop there. Iran is also implementing new digital systems to verify passport authenticity and match personal records, meaning any inconsistencies in your documents could immediately trigger a travel ban or interrogation. UK citizens are being urged to consult with the Iranian embassy before making any travel plans, and to avoid entering the country if they're not completely certain they meet the updated entry criteria. Let's be honest, with rising tensions and increasing scrutiny, now is not the time to take risks with international travel, especially to high-alert regions like Iran. So if you're planning to visit Iran, or even just have a connecting flight through the country, make sure you check the new rules immediately. Double-check your documents, review your travel history, and stay informed. Have you ever traveled to a country with strict entry rules? Drop your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Like this video if you're learning something new, and don't forget to subscribe for the full list of countries coming up next.
Number 9. Israel. Israel has long been known for its tight border control and security checks, but starting next month, the process is about to get even more intense, especially for UK passport holders. If you're planning to visit Israel, you need to prepare for longer wait times, in-depth questioning, and enhanced background checks. The Israeli government is rolling out a new digital vetting system designed to flag any travel to countries it considers high risk, including some Middle Eastern and North African nations. This means that if your passport shows recent stamps from places like Lebanon, Syria, Iran, or even Turkey, you may face extra layers of scrutiny or even denial of entry without warning. Even if you haven't visited these countries, random checks are increasing at Ben Gurion Airport and land borders, with travelers being asked for detailed explanations about their itinerary, accommodation, and even social media activity. For UK citizens who hold dual nationality, particularly with countries that do not have diplomatic relations with Israel, the situation becomes even more complex. Israeli authorities are reportedly cross-referencing travel records with third-party databases, raising privacy concerns and creating confusion among regular travelers. Additionally, a new policy will require some UK citizens to apply for pre-clearance, depending on their travel history or family background. This isn't being widely advertised yet, but it's already been enforced quietly in select cases. If you're flying into Israel soon, it's crucial to be aware that your entire digital footprint and travel history may now play a role in your ability to enter. Border officials have the right to deny entry without explanation, and there's often no appeal process. So while Israel remains a popular destination for tourism and business, entering the country is no longer just about having a valid passport. It's about your past, your paperwork, and your perceived risk level.
Number 8. Brazil. Starting next month, Brazil is officially ending its visa-free travel agreement for UK passport holders, a major change that's catching many travelers off guard. For years, UK tourists have enjoyed the freedom of entering Brazil without a visa for stays up to 90 days. But now, that convenience is coming to an end. From the new enforcement date, all UK citizens will need to apply for an electronic visa, e-visa, before traveling to Brazil, even for short holidays or business trips. This shift is part of Brazil's effort to align its visa policies with countries that require visas for Brazilian citizens, as part of a reciprocal policy initiative. Unfortunately, the process isn't just a quick form. Travelers must now submit a digital application, provide a recent passport photo, proof of onward travel, accommodation, and pay a non-refundable visa fee. Processing times are expected to range from 5 to 10 working days, although delays are common during peak travel seasons. It's also important to note that Brazil's immigration officers will strictly enforce entry requirements, meaning that if you arrive without the approved e-visa, you will be denied entry and sent back home at your own expense. And unlike many countries, visas on arrival are not available, so there's no workaround if you forget. In addition to the visa change, travelers may face random health checks, especially if arriving from regions with recent outbreaks of yellow fever or dengue. While vaccination is not officially required, failing to show a yellow fever certificate in certain regions may lead to quarantine or travel restrictions within Brazil. This new policy marks a significant shift in how UK citizens must plan trips to South America's largest country. Travel to Brazil is still possible, but now it requires more paperwork, more planning, and more time than ever before.
Number 7. Germany. Germany, one of Europe's most visited destinations, is stepping up its border controls starting next month, and UK passport holders are high on the radar. While the UK has already been subject to third country rules post-Brexit, Germany is now going further by enforcing stricter passport validity checks and tightening Schengen compliance enforcement at both airports and land borders. One of the key changes is that your UK passport must now be valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended departure date. Many travelers are unaware that having a passport that merely covers your travel dates is no longer enough. If your passport has less than 6 months validity, you may be denied boarding at your departure airport, or worse, refused entry upon arrival in Germany. Another major update is the automated Schengen entry-exit system being rolled out across major German airports. This system logs each traveler's entry and exit and immediately flags anyone approaching or exceeding the 90-day limit within a 180-day period. UK travelers who frequently visit multiple EU countries for holidays, business trips, or to visit family are at risk of inadvertently overstaying without even realizing it. Furthermore, German border officers are now conducting random spot checks, even for travelers arriving from within the Schengen area. This means that even if you're flying in from France or Spain, you could still be asked to present full documentation, including proof of accommodation, return tickets, and travel insurance. Travelers who fail to comply with these new measures could face immediate fines, entry bans, or even future visa restrictions within the entire Schengen zone. The changes reflect Germany's broader strategy to regain control over external borders and ensure strict compliance with post-Brexit rules, making it essential for UK passport holders to plan carefully and double-check their documents before every trip.
Number 6. Haiti.
Haiti is introducing a strict new travel policy for UK passport holders starting next month in response to ongoing political instability and escalating violence within the country. While UK travelers could previously enter Haiti with relatively minimal checks, the updated regulations will now require pre-travel authorization, security clearance, and proof of purpose for all incoming visitors, including tourists. One of the biggest changes is the new requirement for UK citizens to obtain prior security approval from Haitian immigration authorities before boarding a flight. This involves submitting personal identification documents, details of your full travel itinerary, and, in many cases, a letter of invitation or proof of contact with an organization or host within Haiti. Without this documentation, travelers will not be allowed to board, and airlines have been instructed to enforce these rules strictly. In addition to the new clearance system, Haiti will also begin requiring evidence of a return ticket, hotel bookings, and, in some cases, a background check depending on the length and nature of the visit. These updates are being implemented to help authorities better monitor and manage who enters the country, particularly as gang violence and political unrest continue to rise. For humanitarian workers and journalists, the entry process will be even more rigorous. They must apply through a special application route, which involves liaising directly with both Haitian and UK diplomatic offices. This is intended to ensure the safety of foreign nationals and maintain control over movement within high-risk zones. UK travelers should also be aware that arrival screenings at Toussaint Louverture International Airport will now include additional interviews and baggage inspections, especially for those traveling solo. With these changes, entering Haiti will no longer be a simple process, and UK citizens must now navigate a complex and evolving security landscape just to set foot in the country.
Number 5. Italy. Italy, one of the UK's favorite holiday destinations, is making important changes to its entry requirements for British travelers starting next month. While it remains part of the Schengen zone, Italy is now taking a more rigorous approach to border control, especially in light of growing concerns about unauthorized stays and the rising number of post-Brexit visa violations. Beginning next month, all UK passport holders entering Italy will be required to show proof of sufficient financial means for their stay. This means travelers may be asked to present bank statements, credit cards, or travel cards at the border, proving they can support themselves financially throughout their trip. The required daily amount is expected to be between 50 and 100 euros per day, depending on your length of stay and accommodation. Additionally, Italy is enforcing a new rule that requires mandatory travel insurance for all non-EU visitors. This insurance must cover both medical emergencies and potential repatriation. Travelers who arrive without valid documentation could face entry refusal or be asked to purchase an approved policy on the spot, which could come at a significantly higher cost. Italian border officials are also increasing checks at smaller regional airports, where UK citizens might be less prepared for thorough questioning. You may be asked for proof of accommodation, a return or onward ticket, and even a detailed itinerary for your stay. Spontaneous backpacking trips or loosely planned holidays may raise red flags under the new system. These changes reflect Italy's efforts to align more closely with Schengen border protocols, while ensuring that all non-EU visitors, including those from the UK, are entering under compliant and verifiable conditions. What used to be a simple weekend getaway now requires careful documentation, financial readiness, and solid planning to ensure a smooth arrival.
Number 4. India. India is set to implement stricter entry procedures for UK passport holders beginning next month, marking a significant change in travel dynamics between the two countries. While India has historically offered an e-visa option for British travelers, recent diplomatic tensions and rising concerns over immigration compliance have prompted the Indian government to adopt a more cautious and controlled approach to inbound visitors from the UK. One of the major updates is the longer processing time for tourist and business visas. What once took just a few days for approval may now extend to 7 to 15 working days, as visa applications undergo deeper background checks. Travelers must now submit detailed information about employment, previous travel history, and intended activities in India. Even minor inconsistencies or missing details can result in delays or outright denial. In addition to extended processing, there is a new push for in-person biometric verification at select consulates in the UK. While the e-visa option still exists, certain travelers, especially those visiting for work, journalism, or longer stays, will be required to book in-person appointments, which can be difficult to secure and may delay travel plans considerably. India is also tightening its rules on passport validity, now requiring at least 6 months validity beyond the date of entry, along with 2 blank pages for stamping. Arriving without meeting these criteria could result in denied boarding or entry refusal upon arrival. Furthermore, airport immigration officers in India are increasing the frequency of random interviews and document verification, particularly for solo travelers or those with vague itineraries. UK visitors are being advised to have printouts of hotel bookings, return tickets, and proof of funds readily available, as verbal explanations alone are no longer sufficient in many cases. These new measures reflect India's emphasis on security, compliance, and reciprocal diplomacy, meaning UK travelers must now plan their trips with greater attention to detail and timelines.
Number 3. Afghanistan. Afghanistan remains one of the most restricted and dangerous destinations for UK passport holders, and starting next month, new travel regulations will effectively tighten an already near impossible border situation. Due to the ongoing conflict, political instability, and lack of diplomatic relations, the Afghan authorities, in coordination with foreign governments, are imposing a full entry ban on UK citizens for non-essential travel. Unlike other countries with evolving visa policies, Afghanistan's new measures are absolute. No tourist visas will be issued to UK travelers under any circumstances. Business, academic, and humanitarian visits will only be considered under strict case-by-case approvals and must go through third-party intermediaries or international organizations that have operating agreements with Taliban-controlled agencies. What makes the situation even more complex is that the UK government strongly advises against all travel to Afghanistan and has withdrawn all diplomatic presence from the country. This means that UK citizens inside Afghanistan have no access to consular assistance, leaving them highly vulnerable in the event of arrest, injury, or other emergencies. With no embassy or British diplomatic staff on the ground, travelers cannot rely on traditional support systems. The new restrictions also include a crackdown on individuals attempting to enter Afghanistan through neighboring countries like Pakistan, Iran, or Central Asian states without proper documentation. Those caught attempting to cross borders illegally or without appropriate clearance may face detention by Taliban forces or may be denied re-entry into neighboring countries, particularly if they've overstayed visas or violated immigration laws. Additionally, Afghan border officials are now authorized to perform deep digital inspections, including reviewing electronic devices and communication records, particularly for journalists, aid workers, or individuals suspected of engaging in political or humanitarian activities. These developments highlight an increasingly closed-off and hostile travel environment, making Afghanistan virtually inaccessible and highly unsafe for UK citizens under the new regulatory changes.
Number 2. Japan. Japan, long celebrated for its hospitality and streamlined entry process, is now introducing stricter immigration protocols for UK passport holders, effective next month. While the country remains open for tourism, these new changes reflect Japan's evolving concerns over visa overstays, unlawful work, and rising irregularities in tourist entries, prompting a more rigorous approach to border control. One of the key changes is the introduction of a pre-arrival screening system for visa-exempt countries, including the UK. UK travelers must now complete a mandatory online travel registration before departure.
This digital form will require detailed information about your itinerary, accommodation, return flights, and in some cases, even your employment status. Failure to complete this form in advance may lead to denied boarding or delayed processing upon arrival in Japan. Additionally, Japanese immigration officers are now conducting more frequent secondary inspections. This means travelers, even those arriving for short stays, may be asked to justify their trip, show financial proof, or answer in-depth questions about their travel plans. Border agents have also been granted the authority to review mobile phone content, social media accounts, and messaging apps if they suspect a visitor may not be traveling for legitimate purposes. Japan is also introducing a stricter enforcement of the 6-month passport validity rule, requiring all visitors to have at least half a year remaining on their passports, even if their stay is only for a few days. In the past, such rules were loosely enforced, but under the new system, this will become a non-negotiable requirement. While Japan remains a welcoming and safe destination, the updated policies mean UK citizens must now approach travel with greater preparation, transparency, and awareness. What was once a simple visa-free arrival will now involve additional screening layers that demand careful attention to detail and full compliance.
Number 1. Nepal. Nepal, known for its breathtaking mountains and spiritual retreats, is introducing tightened visa policies and entry protocols for UK citizens starting next month. While the country has traditionally offered visa on-arrival access to British travelers, these new rules are set to limit that convenience, especially for those arriving without proper documentation or travel plans in place. One of the major changes is that visa on arrival will no longer be guaranteed for UK passport holders unless they meet stricter conditions. Travelers must now present a confirmed return ticket, proof of accommodation, and in many cases, bank statements showing sufficient funds to support their stay. Without these documents, immigration officials may refuse to issue a visa upon arrival, effectively turning travelers away at the border. Additionally, Nepal is implementing a more selective approval process at Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu. Immigration officers will now conduct random interviews, especially for solo travelers, digital nomads, or visitors staying more than 15 days. If authorities are not satisfied with the answers or find inconsistencies in the travel plans, they can limit the duration of stay or deny entry altogether, even if the traveler has met the standard visa on arrival requirements. There's also a new emphasis on background checks, with travelers who have recently visited politically sensitive countries like Afghanistan, Iran, or parts of the Middle East being flagged for secondary inspection. This can result in significant delays and, in some cases, additional documentation requests. Furthermore, Nepal is tightening its rules for long-stay tourist visas, requiring applicants to justify extended visits with detailed itineraries, purpose of travel, and letters of sponsorship for stays beyond 30 days. These measures are part of a broader effort by Nepalese authorities to curb illegal employment, monitor overstays, and ensure the safety of both travelers and the local population amid rising concerns about unmanaged tourism. As global travel rules continue to shift, staying informed is more important than ever, especially if you're a UK passport holder. These new restrictions across 10 countries aren't just minor updates. They can make or break your travel plans. So before you pack your bags, double-check every requirement. Missing one detail could mean missed flights, denied entry, or worse. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Bell icon, don't forget to subscribe for more travel updates and international news. Chat Bubble, have you experienced any recent travel surprises? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.